أشهد أن عليا ولي الله.
Qum means upright, Qaim means the upriser, and Qiyam means the uprising. Imam Jafar Sadiq salam says that when Imam al-Mahdi salam, the Qaim of the Ahlul Bayt, stages his uprising, the people of Qum will do Qiyam in large numbers to support the Imam in his global mission. As a matter of fact, he says that 38 out of his 313 commanders will hail from Qum, the most from any one city. It is virtually impossible to tell in brief the virtues of a city named after the living Imam. But if you make it to Qum, then you must visit the grand Masjid al-Jamkaran, which was first constructed in 293 Hijri during the period of the minor occultation under direct orders from Imam al-Mahdi salam himself. And if you have air in your lungs, then perhaps you can make the climb of Kohe Khizr, the mountain of Prophet Khizr. I can assure you that you will not forget the sunset all your life. To name a few, Imamzadeh Ali, son of Imam Jafar Sadiq salam. Imamzadeh Ali, great-grandson of Hazrat Abbas salam. Imamzadeh Abu Ahmad, grandson of Imam Ali salam. Imamzadegan Hassan, Hussain, Mohsin and Muhammad, descendants of Imam al-Sajjad salam. Imamzadeh Jafar Shaheed, descendant of Imam Musa al-Kazim salam. Imamzadegan Ibrahim and Muhammad, also descendants of Imam Musa al-Kazim salam. And Imamzadeh Jafar Gharib, descendant of Imam Jafar Sadiq salam. As far as I am concerned, Qum is like homecoming for the presence of one man, the father of the Rizvi Sayyids, Imamzadeh Musa al-Mubarraqa, son of Imam Muhammad Taqi al-Jawad salam, my ancestor through both parents, resting in the shrine locally known as Chehel Akhtaran or the 40 Stars. With the presence of such walis and saints, it is no wonder Imam Jafar Sadiq salam said that Qum is a city that will never fall to any tyrant, and even if it were to face a calamity, Allah the Almighty will change it to safety and comfort. Imam Musa al-Kazim salam sums it up perfectly when he says that out of the 8 gates of paradise, one is exclusively for the people of Qum. They are the best of the Shiites, for Allah has bestowed the love of the Ahlul Bayt in their nature. Everything that I mentioned and all the blessings that Qum has in store revolves around one lady. She is the daughter of Imam Musa al-Kazim salam, the eldest of his 4 Fatimas, and the real sister of Imam Ali Raza salam. Her name is Bibi Fatima, whom Imam Reza fondly referred to as the Masume of Qum. Peace be upon her. Once a group of Shias went to Medina to meet Imam Musa Kazim salam, who happened to be on journey. So they left a number of questions on a piece of paper. When they returned to the Imam's house, they were handed the piece of paper, with each question satisfactorily answered by Bibi Fatima Masume, peace be upon her. On their way back, they met Imam Musa Kazim salam, who was presented the paper. He smiled and proudly said, Fidaha Abuha, may her father be sacrificed for her. To answer a few questions is nothing extraordinary for the Ahlul Bayt, except that she was less than 6 years of age at the time. Imagine being referred to as Rashida at that age, meaning wise and mature. Tahira, meaning pure and chaste, and Hamida, meaning one who praises Allah, are a few of her other titles. Bibi Fatima Masuma was born in Medina in 173 Hijri. She was 25 years younger to her brother, Imam Ali Raza, peace be upon them. Their mother was Bibi Najma Khatun, a noble and pious lady. But life for the Ahlul Bayt is full of trials. She opened her eyes in an era of extreme hardships for the Prophet's progeny. The persecution that they suffered at the hands of the Abbasids can be summed up by this simple fact. Imam Musa Kazim a.s. had 21 daughters, and neither of them could ever get married. The Kazimiya shrine of Baghdad in Iraq is the resting place of Imam Musa al-Kazim and Imam Muhammad Taqi al-Jawad, father and nephew of Bibi Fatima Masume respectively, the 7th and 9th divinely appointed Imams out of the 12 from the progeny of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon them. When Harun Rashid of the Abbasid dynasty became the Caliph of the Muslim state, things took a turn for the worse. The saddest day of her life came when her father was dragged away from the Prophet's mosque in Medina before her very eyes. She would never see him alive again, for after a few years in prison, he was finally poisoned in the dark dungeons of Baghdad. After her father, her brother Imam Ali Raza a.s. became her legal guardian, and under his guidance, she grew in knowledge and stature. The turning point in the life of Bibi Fatima Masuma and in the life of many Sadat, especially the children of Imam Musa Kazim a.s. came when Imam Ali Raza a.s. was forced to move to Khorasan in Iran by the Abbasid Caliph Mamun Rashid in 200 Hijri. And this initiated one of the largest migrations of the Sadat from Arabia to Iran. The desire of his siblings to be by his side as protectors and supporters can be demonstrated by this map. Their shrines can be found pretty much all over Iran. The Caliph had not forced just any man to move to Khorasan. He had brought in the magnet of the Shia world, and they literally poured in from all quarters. Thousands of them, including Imamzade, companions, scribes, scholars, and narrators, migrated to Iran during the period. It has been 1200 years, but visit his shrine in Mashhad and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. The 8th divinely appointed Imam from the progeny of Prophet Muhammad, Imam Ali bin Musa al-Raza, peace be upon them. Bibi Fatima Masume migrated to Iran in 201 Hijri to be besides her brother and Imam in his mission. She traveled in a caravan that included several of her brothers and close relatives. Leaving from Medina, she took the same route as Imam Hussain a.s. till she reached about Kufa. From there she reached Madain, but instead of proceeding straight towards Nehrawan, she rerouted towards Baghdad. It was for the ziyarat of the grave of her father, Imam Musa Kazim a.s. Proceeding, she crossed over from Khanqin of Iraq's Diyala province to enter Iran from Qasr-e Shirin, with notable halts at Kermanshah, Kangawar, and Hamadan. She finally reached Save. Not in his wildest imagination did he think that he would have to deal with a massive influx of Sadat and other Shias. The contributions of Bibi Zainab and Hazrat Abbas to the mission of Imam Hussain a.s. in Karbala were known to all. Imam Raza a.s. was blessed with multiple siblings, and the Caliph knew exactly what brothers and sisters in this family were capable of achieving for their Imam. He could feel the foundation of his throne quivering beneath him. What followed was, numbers-wise, the biggest massacre of the Prophet's family that has ever been witnessed in history. Save is a quiet town located in the Markazi province of Iran. It is here that the caravan of Bibi Fatima Masume was ambushed and attacked by the soldiers of Mamun Rashid al-Abbasi. She witnessed the brutal deaths of several of her brothers and relatives right before her eyes. You will find the shrines of two of her brothers in Save. Imamzadeh Ishaq, perhaps the most popular Imamzadeh within the city, and Imamzadeh Shahzadeh Hussain, both buried in close proximity, indicating the area where the attack took place. While the rather unique shrine of a brother, Imamzadeh Abdullah, who was taken captive and later killed, is located in Ojan, a scenic village along the highway, 18 kilometers outside of Save. The estimated figure of those killed in the caravan is about 23. For this reason, Bibi Fatima Masume is compared to Bibi Zainab, who was also witness to the massacre of her family in Karbala. Peace be upon them. On reaching, he held the rein of the camel of Bibi Fatima Masume and took her safely to Qum. It was the 23rd of Rabi al-Awwal 201 Hijri when Bibi Fatima Masuma set foot on the land of Qum. It is marked as the day when the fortunes of Qum changed forever. It is a day of celebration with processions portraying her arrival. The entire city heads to her shrine with gifts and flowers to thank her for honoring Qum with her blessed presence. Musa ibn Khasraj gifted his house to Bibi Fatima Masuma. She lived there for only 17 days, but it was enough to convert the sanctuary into the pilgrimage site that it is today. In her fond memory, it has been named Bait al-Nur, or the House of Radiance. In her last days, she remained dedicated to the cause that brought her to Iran, preaching Islam and delivering the message of the rights of her brother, Imam Ali Raza alayhis salam. Bibi Fatima Masuma is ranked amongst the most authentic narrators of traditions. Did you know that she is the narrator of events as significant as Miraj and Ghadir Khum? The most remarkable part is the chain of narrators. It goes like this. Fatima, daughter of Imam Musa Kazim, narrated from Fatima, daughter of Imam Jafar as-Sadiq, from Fatima, daughter of Imam Muhammad Baqir, from Fatima, daughter of Imam Sajjad, from Fatima and Sakina, daughters of Imam Hussain, from Kulsum, daughter of Bibi Fatimatul Zahra, from Bibi Fatimatul Zahra, daughter of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon them. It simply does not get more authentic than this. There is a general belief that she died of grief on hearing the news of the martyrdom of her brother, Imam Ali Raza alayhis salam. If that were the case, then Bibi Zainab Salamullah alaiha would not have lived after witnessing the beheading of Imam Hussain alayhis salam in Karbala. Instead, she rose up and became the backbone of his cause. The fact is that Bibi Fatima Masume was poisoned by a lady in Save, and she was already in an extremely weakened state when she reached Qum. And just to set the record straight, she died 22 months prior to Imam Ali Raza alayhis salam, and of Rabi Sani 201 Hijri, at the age of 28 years. Bibi Fatima Masume went into prostration, and in that state of worship, her soul departed for the eternal abode. The land where she is buried belonged to a host, Musa ibn Khasraj. In those days, it was known as Babilin. It was a secluded area covered with trees and bushes. According to Ayatollah Shahabuddin Marashi Najafi, she said before dying that only the infallibles should bury her. It is narrated that after a crypt was prepared for her burial, two masked Arab riders arrived who led the funeral prayer. Then one rider passed her coffin to the other, who entered the crypt and laid Bibi Fatima Masume to rest in her grave. Without speaking a single word to anybody, they got back on their horses and rode off into the distance. After her burial, Musa ibn Khasraj placed a ceiling made of wicker over the grave. It was basically a room erected with straw mats and sticks. Over time, other ladies from the Ahlul Bayt were also buried beside her. Some of their names are Bibi Muhammad and Bibi Maimuna, nieces of Imam Zade Musa Mubaraka. Bibi Ishaq, granddaughter of Imam Zade Musa Mubaraka. Bibi Habib and Bibi Ahmad, great-granddaughters of Imam Zade Musa Mubaraka. Bibi Qasim and Bibi Bariha, descendants of Imam Zade Musa Mubaraka. This reflects in the part of a ziyarat which says, Assalamu alaikunna ya banate Rasulillah. Assalamu alaikunna wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Meaning salutations upon you, O daughters of the Prophet of Allah. Salutations and mercy be upon all of you. 56 years after Bibi Fatima Masume, Bibi Zainab, daughter of Imam Muhammad Taqi al-Jawad alayhis salam, arrived in Qum. She had a dome made of bricks and mortar built over the grave in the 3rd Islamic century. Thus, the first dome of the shrine of Qum came into existence, coinciding exactly with the commencement of Ghaibat al-Sughra of Imam al-Mahdi alayhis salam. 2 more domes were later constructed, and Bibi Zainab herself was buried under the 3rd dome. The first zari over the grave was installed by the daughter of Imam Zade Musa Mubaraka, whose name was also Bibi Zainab. Peace be upon them. In 457 Hijri, Mir Abul Fazl, vizier of Tughril the Great, on the advice of the revered scholar Sheikh Nasiruddin Tusi, built a high dome that covered the graves of all the holy ladies. The expansion and renovation work continued from the Safavid and the Qajar eras through to the 19th and the 20th centuries and beyond the Revolution period, until what began as a mere ceiling made from sticks became a shrine that has left millions of beholders in absolute awe. Besides its religious, spiritual, and historical significance, every inch of the holy shrine of Bibi Fatima Masume is an absolute piece of art, a source of coolness to the eye of the appreciator. From the minarets to the dome, from the chandeliers to the zari, from the courtyard to the interior, from the ceiling to the doors, from the gates to the walls. It is Persian architecture at its very best. Approximately 45 years before she was born, Imam Jafar as-Sadiq alayhis salam said, "A lady from my children whose name will be Fatima Binte Musa will die in Qum. On the day of judgment, she will intercede for our Shia to enter paradise." What is worth noting is that she has been specifically chosen for intercession, an aspect for which she finds herself in the company of the most elite group of individuals. From 1,24,000 prophets, the crown of intercession rests on the head of Prophet Muhammad. From among his 12 rightful successors, it is the authority granted to the chief of martyrs, Imam Hussain, and Bibi Fatima Masume, daughter of Imam Musa Kazim, peace be upon them. Hence the title Bano-e Qayamat, meaning Lady of the Hour of Resurrection. There are multiple narrations about the virtues of visiting her shrine. While Imam Jafar as-Sadiq alayhis salam has guaranteed paradise as the minimum reward, Imam Ali Raza alayhis salam has said that visiting her is equal to visiting him. Perhaps the most important virtue was revealed to Ayatollah Sayyid Mahmud Marashi Najafi in a dream. After he supplicated for 40 days, hoping to find the grave of Bibi Fatima Zahra, daughter of the Prophet, Imam Jafar Sadiq came in his dream and told him to visit the grave of Karimat al-Ahl al-Bayt, Bibi Fatima Masume of for it is the same as visiting the grave of Bibi Fatima Zahra, while it is Allah's will that the grave of the Prophet's daughter remains a secret for now. Peace be upon them. The arrival of Bibi Fatima Masume was a turning point in the fortunes of Her presence made the land revered and one of the most visited pilgrimage cities in the world. Did you know that Qum used to be lush green throughout the year with pleasant to cold climate? But Allah changed the weather to hot and dry to honor the sacred presence of Bibi Fatima Masume by doing away with all forms of distractions. Henceforth, Qum would be open for the seekers of mercy and knowledge, and the only pleasure to be derived from the city would be the pleasure of Allah and His Prophet. The fact is that wherever the Ahl al-Bayt die or are killed, that land becomes theirs forever, and people come from far and wide searching for their footprints.